Hello, everybody, and just here, and welcome back. Welcome back to Symphogear. New season, same show. Today we're gonna be starting Symphogear AXZ, or as someone told me, it can be pronounced Symphogear AXZ. So I guess I'm gonna use AXZ, or maybe AXZ if I forget myself. Regardless of that, a couple of things about housekeeping first. This is going to Patreon. A week later, that's gonna go to YouTube. So by the time you're watching it on YouTube, the episode 2 is already going to be up on Patreon. Regarding Patreon, they now allow me to set the billing so that when you start subscribing to me on Patreon on, like, I don't know, the 14th of a given month, then you are charged on the 14th of every consecutive month. The way it looks right now is that if you subscribe on, like, the 28th of a given month, then you get charged again on the 1st of the next month. So some people don't like it. Let me know if you'd like me to change that, because I can, and I honestly saw no reason to, but maybe there are some hidden issues with that. So if you know of any, talk to me about it. Another bit of housekeeping: I'm looking for a proper camera instead of using my phone, but I don't know which one to pick. I've been eyeing Elgato Facecam. If you have any experience with that, with what quality it provides, or if you know of any other webcams, or some really fucking cheap DSLR and a really fucking cheap capture card, do let me know. That's another thing. Anything else? No, that does it for housekeeping. Now we can go to Symphogear. What's gonna happen in this season? I have no clue. It's the first season, and the previous one didn't exactly end on a cliffhanger, so I have no way of predicting what's gonna happen. I mean, in GX, I wouldn't have been able to predict that we're gonna get autoscorers and Carol and alchemy and all that jazz. So how can I predict whatever is gonna happen in Axis? I do know, however, that Axis and the next season, whose name I don't know, but it's probably also a bunch of random letters. Those two were announced at the same time. We've seen the concert live. There's a VOD of that stream on my channel, so you can check it out if you want. We saw that seasons 4 and 5, so Axis and whatever is to follow, were announced and greenlit at the same time, which means that they might use that fact and make it a little bit of a split core, or perhaps AXZ Axis is gonna end in a cliffhanger that leads to the next season. I don't know. I have no way of knowing. In GX, we introduced alchemy, so I guess I can predict that alchemy is going to continue being relevant in one way or another. We have Elf9 with us in Carol's body, so she's essentially our new Ryoko, except instead of using the Sakurite theory to make linker and work on relics, she can use alchemy. So that's going to be interesting. It will be cool to see if she's gonna be able to make, like, alchemical linker, so that Kirika, Shirabe, and Maria can use them. Also, Ver gave them near the end, near his sacrifice, some SD card or something with data. Linker recipes probably there, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't remember, to be perfectly honest with you, if it was mentioned. But perhaps there is some worthwhile data there. I mean, it's an SD card from Dr. Ver, so of course there will be some sort of important data there. What else? I don't know if Season 6 is going to be a thing. I don't know how Season 5, so the one after AXZ, is gonna end, because, I mean, I haven't seen it, and I haven't spoiled myself. And the fact that the concert that usually announces a new season was held in 2020, was about to be held in 2020, but then the plague struck and it was moved to this year. I think it's gonna be like next month or something thereabouts that they're planning the concert. Unlikely that they've kept season 6 under wraps for 2 years, although it might very well be that they're making a movie or something and it really does take that amount of time, or they're really working on a like a two-core season perhaps or something. I might be getting high on hopium here, but I mean it's a possibility that they would have announced season 6 in 2020 with the release date of late 2022 or 2023 or something like that. There are shows out there that do take years and years and years to complete, and with how the quality of Symphogear has been steadily increasing, so would the time required to complete it. And since, if I'm not mistaken, uh, I don't think I am mistaken, the Symphogear franchise is fairly successful. I mean, they had a concert at Budokan. That has to count for something. So that makes me think they might have enough budget to make something big and might need a few years to complete it. Then again, I've no clue. I have no way of knowing. We're gonna check out the studio, any changes in the staff later, and I'm gonna have to take a look at what the studio is making. Did they make anything in between season 5 and the supposed season 6, theoretical season 6? If so, then maybe season 6 is not gonna be a thing. If not, then maybe they are full throttle going for season 6. But again, it's just purely and solely and entirely speculation. As far as the content of this season, again, I've no clue. Probably alchemy. Probably some longer story that spans multiple seasons, 2 seasons to be more precise. But besides that, I don't know, because GX was just like G, just like the first season. They all ended in a very self-contained, rounded-out way because they had no way of knowing if future seasons are gonna be greenlit. So I think that's gonna be it. I don't have anything more to say preemptively before the episode begins. So let's just begin the episode. How about that? Here's your timer. Sync up your own copy. You can like make the player with your anime smaller and put it somewhere to the left side of the screen. That's why I'm leaving this space out and I'm not just centered in the camera. Sing it up. Subs, you're gonna need them. Sound, I'm gonna need it to hear what's going on and to hear the songs. I'm interested in hearing what songs they're gonna give us this time. The opening, the ending. The opening of GX was cool, but not quite as memorable as the opening of G, for sure. And the songs themselves, we're probably gonna get a bunch of new Henshin songs and whatnot. So, one more thing, of course, the third S in my intros. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon Throne. On Patreon you get early access to Symphogear, to Madoka, to other non-seasonals that will be coming after Symphogear, after Madoka. And if you don't want to spend any money and still want to support the channel, sharing the content, spreading the word really does help a lot. I held a stream where I was looking at the channel statistics, analytics. Over 5% of traffic comes here from Reddit. So if you're sharing my content on Reddit, it really has a tangible effect on how many people experience my content. And with all of that out of the way, we can finally start watching Symphogear AXZ or Axis or however you want to say it. Episode 1 in 3, 2, 1, go. Summer homework. I mean, if you work on it throughout the summer, sure. If you leave it for the last day. Hello, Miku. Of course. Miku best wife. Oh, hello. Des. Indeed. Okay. That's some very dynamic animation here. Yeah, I can see the jump in quality of the CG and the animation. Is it wasn't bad by any stretch in GX or in earlier seasons, but this bit with Hibiki being hit in the face. Okay, what's the deal here? The noise is a non-issue. Alka noise is a non-issue. That's not conventional weaponry, my dude. Oh, Alka noise? What the fuck? Some military got their hands on Alka noise? Uh, okay. Motherfucker just flying a kite. Smoke bombs? Smoke bombs. We're fighting a military. But why? Oh, jet-powered cartwheels. Sure. That's why I'm watching Symphogear. For jet-powered cartwheels and bouncing bullets with your fists. Oh, that's a cool shot. No, not quite. Classic. I love the movement on Hibiki here. Okay, what's the deal with this military though? Who's the enemy? Are we just fighting random militias around the world now? Like, I don't know. Cubans or something? This looks vaguely like Cuba, I guess. Or some other Southern American jungle. But how would they get their hands on alkanoids? And what are they fighting for? I'm incredibly fucking confused right now. Uh... Sure? A spaceship? Uh, no, not quite. Those helis were modified specifically to allow them to stand on top, weren't they? Those are some cool shots, don't get me wrong, but confused doesn't even begin to describe what I'm feeling right now. I like Maria's suit though. The shirt, like suit shirt with an upright collar thing. Okay, everybody has those. That's cool. How many layers was that? A lot is the answer. Just casually cutting a spaceship in half. I mean, they already cut a K2 in half once, so why not a spaceship? And that's the drill that's gonna drill the heavens. Hundreds crew members dead. Explain. I know we're working for the UN now, but explain. That does look like South America. And everybody has nice little, like, uniforms. I like that as well. It's no longer Lydian, Serafiku, or Seifuku. I can never remember which one's which. Yeah, but how the fuck are they alkanoids there? Provided from where? Okay, Bavarian Illuminati, sure. We heard about that in GX, I think. Why Bavaria? Mahou Shoujo incident, you mean Carol? It's both. Okay. Interesting to hear that she had help with that. So, New World Order shenanigans, essentially. Where from? The lab where they were held? Okay. I'm glad Elf9 has closed now, though. Latin American, so I was correct. Val Verde are big bad for the season, I'm assuming? Or a red herring. Because the big bad is gonna turn out to be one of the custodians or something. The custodians, right? That's a thread we haven't followed for a good while. There's like demigod entities or deities even that impose the curse of Balal on humanity. Okay, so you can't make more? You can wash my back. I mean, yeah, you're both naked, and Shirabe is watching. I mean, I don't disagree with that statement. Just don't go the Carol route, Chris. Watch the chemicals be anti-linker or linker. They're using to create artificial Symphogear users or whatever. Right, Chris was also in like South America or whatever. Took part in slave trade or whatever. Is Sonia still alive? And we're gonna meet her. Yeah, they're on to you. Spearhead, haha. Oh, they're still going with holding gems in their hands, are they? Okay, that's a much faster... Oh. Screens? Okay, I was about to say that's a much faster henshin, with all of her being covered in the yellow gems at once, instead of all her limbs separately. But I guess we're using the time for the henshin in other places. Meeting Sonia. Okay, still not killing people. I mean, it was apparent even during the previous combat scene. Banana noise. Okay. Banana noise make an appearance. Banana ice. What the fuck is that? An alchemical thingamadude? Okay, just vaporized. Red mist. That's cool. The arrow goes inside and bounces around. And there goes the big dude. It won't. Hibiki? Hibiki. Ooh, glowing scarf? Is she fighting with her scarf now? And did she stop her movement by punching the wall? And the classic move of charge it and then release all the kinetic energy in one move. Probably honestly my favorite move in the whole show so far. Such a simple idea, right? Such a simple move. Completely not flashy, but great. Not for long. Hello, Maria. Or frog. Whomst. Saint-Germain. Cagliostro is an alchemist. Saint-Germain as in Count de Saint-Germain? I know that name as well. Singing in German? Well, haha, they lied. That's the thing with villains. You can't trust villains. If you're a villain and you're working with other villain, you can't trust them. Oh, just Thanos snapping them all. So the mark is really a thing that allows them to kill you if you become a liability. Okay, those are BDSM pins. That's a number, sure. Oh, those two are out in the field. That's a first. Trying to... I don't know. This looked like a crypt, so trying to resurrect their master or something? I've no clue. Yeah, they were all vaporized. Stefan. Is it a trap? Whomst? Someone encased in crystal with one big eye? A custodian? Motherfucker. That looks very... Okay, no longer, but initially it looked very Mesoamerican. This is just a dragon with red eyes. Not for long, though. Yeah. You can't exactly easily outrun a kaiju. Collecting 100,000 souls or something? Argatlam, Maria. And Kirika and Shirabe. The B team. Oh, we're ending here. Val Verde screen. I'm gonna have to translate that. Val Verde Hell Screen. Hmm. Another grand conspiracy, huh? Or rather, unveiling the underlying conspiracy. It seems like all the villains throughout the seasons are connected in the end. Fine had connections to the FIS. FIS has connections to the Bavarian Illuminati. Carol has connections to the Bavarian Illuminati. I'm gonna have to do some Googling and Wikipediaing after this episode is over, that is. We're gonna go through it again, as usual, and then I'm gonna do some Googling. The names, for sure, I'm gonna have to Google the names. Cagliostro, I'm 100% sure. Saint-Germain, not entirely, and the third one I can't remember. By shedding many tears, the reality you face is, and the four eyes on Hibiki's chest that come from the Ignite module. So we're gonna continue using Ignite modules. Cool, cool, cool. That was a very Symphogear opening. Cool, hype, and confusing as fuck. That pretty much sums up every episode 1 of every season of Symphogear, doesn't it? Okay, let's go through it again. Miku best wife, of course. We knew that already. And she's blushing? No, I thought she blushed here. Yeah, she did. There's a little bit of a blush. I love this little bit of this. I love how they really are playing into that. It's not just a one-off joke, it's continued use of this. And a smack. With a shoe. Chris's shoe. Of course, Chris would be the one to throw her own shoe to get someone's attention. Yeah, that was a very cool, very dynamic, very fast shot, wasn't it? Almost seemed like it was animated on once, and yet it wasn't. The little twist of her head in one direction and then the other, that kind of even kind of like squish and stretch but applied to motion. Thumbs up. They really are bumping the quality from season to season. Yeah, we are in South America, and apparently they have their hands on alkanoids. Created through alchemy. South American jungle. If you need a place to hide your secret base, South American jungle is probably the place you can use. The thick, like, treetops will mask any and all sorts of hatches you might have to get inside of the underground base or whatever. It's very hard to traverse. Yeah, my nose is getting clogged. I hope you can hear that my voice got very nasal, but it wasn't clogged when I started recording, but now it is. Uh, Too late to stop the recording and start at a later date. He's using all of ninja techniques. Like using a kite to fly into into an enemy base is such a stereotypical ninja thing to do. And something's written on this kite. Oh, it ninja. If you ever had any doubts if Ogawa is a ninja, he's gonna tell you about it. Smoke bombs dropping in, and he has again, another very stereotypical ninja thing. Something you'd see in, I don't know, those like early 70s, 80s anime with weird creatures and tiny, super deformed art style. People that use a cape like that as a parachute. Yeah, it very much is a trope from like those very early, like Doraemon era anime depiction of ninjas. I love it. And it's done in like complete seriousness. Because then he does this move, does the Bushin no Jutsu or whatever, this gesture, and just wraps it, hides it, lands, and just takes care of everybody. I wonder if the conflict of this season is going to be similar to the conflict of the previous season, like on a personal level, at least for Hibiki, having to fight people. So far, they seem to be content with just destroying their weapons, but you can't always count on that, can you? There might be a situation where they have to actually fight and kill humans. So I love the deflections and the shading, the lighting. You can actually see in this season that the knuckles are like metal because they have a very metal-like shading. Jet-powered cartwheels, again, something I fully expect from Symphogear, and one of the reasons why I watch this series, because it's probably, honestly, Symphogear is probably one of the most imaginative battle anime. The moves they pull here, the weapons they use are unlike anywhere I've seen. I praised Review Starlight a lot for using weapons other than swords, right? Someone had a halberd, someone had a spear, someone had an axe, someone had a mace, and that was already praiseworthy. Because anime fucking love their swords, don't they? And 90% of weapons in anime are swords. And this like goes above and beyond. We already talked about ankle blades, but the moves they pull here is jet-powered cartwheels, right? One example. Shirabe, the very idea of her weapon is just plain ridiculous in itself. I wonder, and I'm gonna ask you guys to maybe tell me in the comments or somewhere, are there other anime that have this imaginative combat? And I don't mean it in the sense of an anime where all of the combat is done by cans of soda transforming into cute, pretty, busty girls and them dishing it out. That's an actual anime, by the way. But rather an anime that has such a huge variety of weapons and moves and combat styles. I love it, and I need more. I want more. I have this season, I have the next one, season 6. We don't know if it's gonna come, but if there is something that's on like this degree of crazy, do let me know. Because I would be willing to watch it, for sure. And yeah, I wanted to see that move Hibiki did here. No, not here. A little later. Yeah, she's deflecting the bullets, not taking them head on, but rather deflecting them to the side. Which is like a very common thing to do in combat when you're fighting with melee weapons in general, fighting with them, or even when you're fighting hand-to-hand combat. Deflecting the strikes is much easier than capturing them and blocking them. When someone throws a punch at you, the easiest move is not to stop that punch, the easiest move is to redirect it. Same with a sword. When someone takes a slice, you don't block it, you bump it to the side. I love the use of it, of this principle here. Just deflecting the bullet just like that. This is a cool shot. CG, but very well done CG. Ripping the tracks, ripping off the turrets, and using the turret as a hammer, because of course, it's Symphogear, it's Hibiki. She would be the one to use a turret of a tank as a hammer. Anti-tank film we had screened last night seems to be effective. Oh, initially I thought that it's about some improvement to their Symphogears or something. A screen, like a layer, like a film on top of their gears that provides some anti-tank protection or whatever. But no, it's not a film as in a film, a cover, a layer on top, but a film as in a movie. They literally saw some movie with people fighting tanks, and that helps them in combat. I love it. I love that so many of the moves that Hibiki learned come from movies, because her teacher is Genjiro, someone obsessed with action movies. Yeah, just grabbing the bullet, throwing it back. That's not a bullet, that's a rocket. And exploding it in mid-air as to not damage the people inside. And then a beam of light and a spaceship. Whole-ass spaceship with turrets and some refinery modules or whatever. God damn. And those are apparently like big bombs, not refinery tanks or whatever. Their purpose is to blow up, it seems. Also, this detail. That the helicopters they use have like stationary platforms added on top in case a Symphogear user wants to stand on there. I love it. I love this detail. Or maybe it's a model of a helicopter that just has this useless big thing on top, but I doubt that. If I'm mistaken, though, tell me about it. More rockets. Yeah, that's a non-issue. Can just shoot them down. I love their uniforms. Yeah, it kinda between like a Boy Scout uniform and an office worker uniform, and like a casual military uniform that they use in hot climates. Like, I don't know, in African desert, for example, they have this kind of a shirt with short sleeves or sleeves that can wrap themselves up. Yeah, I love their uniforms. And those are shorts that kind of look like skirts. I think there is a name for that. Skort? I think skort is the term they use for this article of clothing. I love it. True blade, that's a big one. Big enough to destroy this whole spaceship. And this is cool. This I like. Hibiki had issues with summoning her armed gear, right? Summoning Gungnir as a weapon, something separate from herself. Her true Gungnir is a part of her. Her Gungnir is her fist. Her fist is her Gungnir. And of course, the mechanical designs, as always, on point. Hexagons very much persist into this season as well. Those are the bits she usually uses as jets to power up her punch, but now they detach, spin around just to be a little bit extra, elongate, connect to her fist. No, her fist doesn't even turn into a Gungnir. It's those two bits that are spinning around her fist that create this drill that will pierce the heavens. And yeah, she just captures the dude and blows up the entire ship. Now, they've been taking great care to not kill anybody, and here they are just obliterating the spaceship. I don't think this dude was the only person on board. I think this ship has a crew, or should I say, had a crew, because now it's just a pile of burning wreckage. And everybody on board has been incinerated and suffocated from all the air being burned out by the explosion. Skirting along the water surface. And people, soldiers from that facility? I don't know, just people. Random South American people. And I'm assuming we're gonna have some issues with Chris, or rather, Chris is gonna have some issues, because she has experience with seeing her parents die in South America and being sold into slave trade, essentially. And that's exactly what's going on here right now. Well, I don't know about the slave trade. Nothing was said about that. But for sure, there are people suffering in South America, and Chris sees the parallels to that. And I love Maria getting embarrassed by Kanade. Tsubasa just stating that, oh, she was probably missing me. I love it. I love the relationship. I ship it so hard. Bavarian Illuminati. I'm gonna note it down just to Google it. If it's like an actual thing, Illuminati is like an actual thing, supposedly. Bavaria is an actual country as well. No, well, Bavaria used to be a country, I think. Now Bavaria is a region of Germany. Yeah, Bavaria is a region of Germany. Bavarian Illuminati. I'm gonna have some Googling to do, for sure. I thought it was gonna be a short, hour-long recording, but it's probably gonna be much more than that. And yeah, the Bavarian Illuminati were behind all of it. Everything. In one way or another, but they were. What are they talking about? S.O.N.G units are directly under UN control. Yeah. Officially, we're not allowed to engage in military intervention. Sure, because they are supposed to only fight the noise, the supernatural. Not fight militaries around the world. But the military uses that paranormal, supernatural power, so it kinda is their deal. Kinda not, kinda is. Yeah, they use alchemists in their military. And I just wish we had enough linker to make ourselves useful. Are they still running on what was left after Ryoko, after Ver? Did they make no attempts to create their own linker with the knowledge that Elf9 has? With the knowledge they got from Nastasia, with the data they got from Ver? Or is it still, like, in the process of being made? Des. You don't need linker or gear to be useful. Oh, yeah, I see where Kirika's eyes are going. She can't decide where Hibiki's eyes are. And of course, Shirabe is staring. I love her hair. There's so much detail in her hair right now. I think that's another big change from the previous season, although I'm not entirely sure. But the amount of detail is amazing. No one else's hair has this amount of detail as Shirabe has. Come on, show me Shirabe again. Yeah. It's just hard not to look. Yeah, probably. The memories who said you could invade my mind. Ask Elf9 how to deal with that. Although, on the other hand, perhaps don't. Chemical plant. I love how chemical plant is just a vague chemical bioweapon plant. What are they making? Are they making sarin? Are they making chemical X? Are they making anti-linker? We don't know. They're making something. It's probably bad. Sonia. South American, purple hair. This is all your fault. I wonder how. I wonder what happened there. Now, I have full trust that we are going to explore those topics of Chris's past. But still, I have to wonder. Gungnir Henshin. I'm still not a fan of how they're putting their thing out there because it's a prime target. You see a Symphogear user do that, you shoot their hand. Like, right? When they have it on their chest, on their necks, it's safe under their clothes. You can't exactly see that. This is just asking for trouble. I wonder if it's actually gonna cause them any trouble. Probably not. But would be kinda cool if it did. Okay, let's take a look at the Henshin. Similar aesthetic still. But now this layer of power, instead of enveloping her hands first, then her legs, then her whole self, it just goes through her entire self at once. We're continuing the theme of hexagons. And yeah, just pretty much entire henshin bit at once. And those things are vaguely mechanical. They change form, they change shape. They aren't just plain hexagonal crystals. They're vaguely mechanical. Oh, right, they're bigger than I thought. They fold out and they create Hibiki's gear. Gotcha. SGR03 Gungnir. I guess she now has a smartwatch. Kind of bulky one, but hey, she can see messages from Miku on it. As long as it has a slot for a SIM card. Same goes with legs. Well, similar. There's this weird red ribbon. And yeah, same thing with those hexagonal things folding out and forming elements of her gear, fusing together, creating the leg piece. Another hexagon, creating her little backpack, jetpack thing, earpieces. And the bulk of this henshin is Hibiki doing all sorts of dynamic poses and movements. Punching, jumping, posing. Kicking. Punching more. Punching even more. And yeah, that's her final pose. Alkanoids are attacking. Where are we even that the people who look like civilians are running away? I thought we were at a military base? Or is it a random city that has a military base inside, or what the deal is? I don't know. I love this move. Oh, just creating a shockwave that pushes everything aside. What is that? This looks like a miniature Solomon's cane, is my first immediate reaction. Except it has a button, like a detonator, and it summons a big noise. A big alka noise, should I say. The big alka noise spits out some purple pink goop, and that forms more alka noise. Yeah, I love this move of Chris. And also, I love how Chris is actually using her bow nowadays. In early episodes, in early seasons, she was just using her guns. Now she's actually using the bow Ichiaval. She started in GX, and it's like the second or third time she already used her bow in this season. Cool. Yeah, it flies inside and bounces and pierces the noise from the inside. Artemis capture. Artemis, Greek, Roman. Greek? Roman, goddess of hunt. Soaring Phoenix Blade, that's a classic. This glowing scarf. I think that's the first time we see focus on that glowing scarf. And okay, it's Hibiki running through the crowd, pushing them. I thought it's her scarf swinging side to side, but no, there's actually Hibiki inside. Kind of a parallel to Maria when she was using Gangnir and her cape. Hibiki is using her scarf. And yeah, I think she did stab herself by punching the wall. Because it served no other purpose, really. And of course, we can punch the noise with the classic slingshot bit, and that solves all the issues. Decode plane at Escalon Airport. And we are meeting our villains for the season, I'm assuming. Ojo-sama, Frog Plush, Meganeko, and a busty Genki girl. Those are the archetypes we're gonna be using for this season, apparently. Saint-Germain, Prelati, Cagliostro. Okay. Saint-Germain, Prelati, Cagliostro. Cagliostro for sure I know is an alchemist. Saint-Germain I know from somewhere, but I know that the bell rings, but I don't know which church. And Prelati sounds similar to like a prelate, which is some sort of like a monastery position thing, but it's a proper name, so I'm assuming it's an actual character. I'll have you make yourself useful one last time, and we're going to sing something in German, which is going to activate the pins, which is going to dissolve your bodies, and give us 73,788 something lives, souls, something along those lines, and seeing how that's a number bigger than 10,000, bigger than 50,000, I'm assuming we're going for either 77,777, because 7 magical number, or we are going for full 100,000. It could be either. For what purpose? I don't know. I have a sneaking feeling we're gonna start introducing custodians. And the thing in the basement is probably a frozen custodian, and it needs 100,000 souls to be awakened. Or something along those lines. Weird to see them in the field. Honestly, I would have expected Ogawa, I would have expected Genjiro, for sure. But those two, they're just office workers, essentially. But apparently they do have some combat training. This opera house is shielded against satellite transmissions, of course. Some weird crypt This dude, Stefan. I wonder if he has a relation to Sonia. I don't think so, but just in case, Stefan is Sonia's son, because Sonia in the flashback looked fairly mature. She could realistically have a son at his age, kinda, sorta, I don't know. Just pretty much, I don't know, randomly guessing. We were dragged here from the village to work, so a classic way that a Southern American secret base would operate. Yeah, this looks vaguely human, but at the same time not. It's humanoid for sure, but this is either a helmet, probably a helmet, with a singular eye, green hair, triple ahegao. Not ahegao, Jesus, what did I just say? Triple ahoge. Triple ahegao, sure. No, triple ahoge. That's such a rookie mistake, honestly. Leaving the voice on. I'll take the energy we extracted from the sacrifice, and I'm going to awaken a Mesoamerican sculpture with a spirit of a Mesoamerican monster. That's not Quetzalcoatl, it's something else. It's a Mesoamerican dragon, I'm gonna call it. And I'm sad that it doesn't actually look Mesoamerican. It just looks like a generic dragon serpent. Now, don't get me wrong, it looks cool, sure, but I was expecting to see something more more like the sculpture, right? Especially since the soul of it, the spirit or whatever that she sent into the sculpture, also looked the same way. And it's growing red eyes on its body. I'm wondering if it's actually a part of him, of it, or are those red eyes like elements that are supposed to control it? Maybe? I don't know. And yeah, it has no issues destroying the cars. 73,794, so the number is increasing. They managed to run, thankfully. I'd rather they not die, so I'm glad. And yeah, cavalry has arrived. Ergetlam, Shulshagana, and Igalima. Or rather, Ergetlam, Igalima, and Shulshagana. Brand sparkling new yo-yos. And cliffhanger. Val Verde Hellscreen. Val Verde Hellscreen. Double L. Val Verde Hellscreen. I'm as confused as you are. I mean, I'm much more confused than you are because you've probably seen the entirety of Symphogear already. Or maybe not. Who knows? But yeah. That was Symphogear Season 4, Episode 1. I hear a voice from somewhere telling me to stand. I felt this for some time. They call out of the call of the future. I am to trust you more than myself. All and we'll overcome our weaknesses together. We are weak both in body and in mind. I am to accept your cheers and grow ever stronger. We may cry, but we will wipe away our tears and carry on. On the brink, covered in wounds, your words support me. Looking back is out of the question, and one day I'm sure we'll know true strength. Huh. By shedding many tears, the reality you face is... I have no clue what to make of the lyrics and the subtitle here, but it probably has significance. Amazing logo, by the way, just wanted to point that out. And it seems like it's in a fairly large resolution, so I should have no trouble including it in my thumbnails. For the previous seasons, I always had the issue of the logos. The highest resolution logo I could find was like 200 by 400 pixels, and I had to use like AI upscaler to make it fit the thumbnail. Not gonna have the issue here. AXZ. What does that mean? The X is special, so I'm assuming it's like a crossing between the A and the Z. Kind of like in ship names, you have Hibiki X Miku, you have AXZ. A, alchemy. Z, Symphogear. I don't know, but it's maybe. I don't even want to say probably. It may become significant eventually. The name of it. GX apparently stands for G something X drive. So the X stands for XD. X drive. It's weird, man. The naming in Symphogear is really fucking weird. Better than the naming of the USB standard, though, so hey, props for that. Okay, now, time to do some interneting, some Googling, Wikipediaing. Let me open that, and let's see, display capture. Is that gonna work, or window capture, maybe? Window capture, there we go. What do I wanna look up? Well, first and foremost, Symphogear AXZ. Not my anime list, I want Annilist. Symphogear AXZ on Annilist. Same characters. I want to check out the studio. It's probably the same one, Satellite. And I want to check the stuff real quick. Satellite, what are they making? What have they made since Symphogear? 2019 was Symphogear AXZ. Tagatame no Alchemist. Something about alchemy. AXZ, yeah. Oh, that's Zeshoshinai. 2018 was Caligula. I have to finish watching that one day. Macross, AXZ. Ragnar Strike Angels. More Macross. 2015 was GX. Okay, so it seems like they are taking on average how many years between seasons of Symphogear? 2012, 2012 was the original, then 2013 was G, 2015 was GX, 2017 was AXZ, 2019 was XV, so 2 years between seasons, so you would expect, if there was something after XV, you would expect 2021 release date, assuming they might want to go for a higher quality or something. 2022 doesn't seem out of the question, so I can still be high on hopium that maybe they're gonna announce the next season during the 2022 concert, and the release date will be like January 2023 or December 2022. And yeah, they also, between seasons of Symphogear, they were also working on other shows, so the fact that after XV they have been working on other shows doesn't really mean all that much. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Stuff, I don't think the stuff has changed particularly much, but I want to compare it to GX nonetheless. Prequel GX. Stuff. Same original creator, same everything. Director Katsumi Ono. Character design Satoru Fujimoto. Mechanical design Hiroyuki Taiga. Main animator Hanyu. Main animator. Key animator Hanyu for the opening, and main animator for AXZ. Okay, so that's a change in like a position. But all in all, it seems to be mostly the same staff. Yeah, mostly the same staff. And Toriyama Nishi, Chief Animation Director for episodes 3, 5, 7, and 7 to 13. Okay, that's all I wanted to know about the staff. Nothing particularly much changed. Yeah, not gonna look at the tags because they can sometimes be spoilery. Okay, now let's Google the things I want. Translate Google.com, sure, accept all, whatever. Val Verde, hell. Screen. That's not English, I'm assuming that's gonna be like German. EFG. Maybe not. Val Verde alone. What could it be? Dutch. Val Verde translates to Full Verde. Thank you. I wouldn't have known otherwise. Verde is Spanish, I want to say. Maybe it's a combination of multiple languages. Spanish. Green. Fall green hell screen. I don't know, maybe it actually means something. Bavarian Illuminati. Okay, Bavarian professor started the Illuminati. Gotcha. So makes sense. The original Illuminati. Next. Saint-Germain. Count de Saint-Germain. Yeah, Comte de Saint-Germain. European adventurer with an interest in science, alchemy, and the arts. Makes sense. An alchemist. Cagliostro. Count Alessandro di Cagliostro, an occultist. Alias of Giuseppe Balsamo. Italian adventurer and self-styled magician. He pursued various occult arts, including psychic, healing, alchemy, and scrying. Makes sense. And Prelati. François Prelati, Italian priest and alchemist who took part in the murders committed by Gilles de Rais in the 15th century. He claimed he could summon demons and involved Gilles in the practice. And it's apparently a character in Fate Type Moon. Okay, so we now know that all of them are alchemists in one way or another. Cool. That's an interesting opener of a season, for sure. Introduces us to some grand conspiracy that's been going on throughout all the seasons so far. So that's cool. It doesn't immediately jump into like being a world-ending issue, because we kind of had this thing with G and GX, and even with the original Symphogear, where, although no, with the first season we didn't have that, but with GX we were introduced to the whole thing with other Symphogear users, and that immediately would raise stakes. In GX we were introduced to the alchemy and to Carol, so that would immediately raise stakes. And then in right, and the thing that also raised stakes immediately was how bad was our trio at dealing. Well, our 6 characters were at dealing with those alcanos and with autoscorers, right? They were taking a loss after a loss after a loss, so that raised the scores immensely. This time around, we are starting from a very safe position, right? Our characters have no issue fighting alcanos because they now have upgraded relics. Even the biggest of noise are a non-issue. The spaceships are being shot down without a problem. Yeah, everything so far seems to be smooth sailing. Even the monster summoned by the trio of alchemists was just... Well, it wasn't defeated yet, so we can't be sure, but seeing how it reacted to being hit by a truck, it probably can be killed fairly easily with Symphogear power. If not with Symphogear, then with Ignite forms, for sure. If not with Ignite forms, then with Zestro. That one, for sure. What else? What else? But the fact that those three alchemists exist, those three Illuminati alchemists exist, and we don't know what their deal is. We don't know what exactly they're doing. They're collecting souls or something, and they have a plan that involves something. And they were using all of those South American militia leaders for their own ends. So they were supplying them with alkanoids. Probably the assumption was that even with all the alkanoids, they will pose no threat to us. Even with all the alkanoids is like disposable. We can give it away, and that's not gonna be an issue for us. And those leaders are gonna be praising us and are going to be immensely loyal to us because we're giving them such a strong weapon. But it really isn't that strong for us. That's the vibe I was getting. And then we have that creature, that person encased in the yellow crystal. I'm assuming that might be a custodian, or that might be a Symphogear user. That's another possibility. The thing on their head and their costume, that could be a gear. Someone who transformed and then was encased in crystal and wasn't able to dehenshin, and that character is somehow significant to the three alchemists? I don't know. I'm not sure. Could be either way. But why would a Symphogear user be significant to them, right? Unless it's like the fourth alchemist and that's some weird alchemical Symphogear or something along those lines, then I can't see them spending all this time on freeing just a random Symphogear user. Has to be more to that. So my biggest assumption is person frozen in crystal is a custodian. What else makes me think that? We kind of dropped the topic of custodians in a very uncharacteristic for Symphogear way, right? Everything connects. Everything is being strung together in one way or another. Finney and Ryoko connect to the FIS. FIS connects to the Illuminati. The Illuminati connect to Carol. The research that Ryoko did, that Finney did, connects to our disaster squad, to S.O.N.G. The research that the knowledge that Elf9 has connects to S.O.N.G, right? Everything is connected. And then the whole shtick with the Curse of Balal and the Custodians was always somewhere in the background, right? Like, sure, there's a Curse of Balal, but we're not really gonna do anything about it. We can't in the first place. Sure, there are custodians, and they were mentioned at one point, but ultimately we don't exactly know what they are and what the deal is. They haven't shown themselves yet, so we can just ignore that. Makes me think if that's actually gonna come to bite us in the ass. Makes me wonder, makes me think. What else? I think that's it. I don't think I have anything more to say about this season, besides, of course, the quality being up there, quality being great, of course. Both in animation, in art style, in CG. CG in particular, I noticed is really much better I've been rewatching GX recently with Tiabu's reactions, and I've been paying attention to the CG, and it can look quite bad at times, especially cars. This time around, the bullets and the helicopters didn't have those issues. So you can definitely see a little bit more time, a little bit more effort, a little bit more budget, and manpower put into that. So that's cool. That's great. And the linker, that's another topic that I kind of forgot about. They have a limited supply of linker, and they aren't making their own. I wonder how are they gonna solve this issue. Even back in GX, I was wondering if they're gonna solve it. How are they gonna solve it? One possible way is of course modifying the gears themselves to not require linker. Another would be again using alchemy to perhaps modify the bodies of Kirika, Shirabe, and Maria to be more in sync with their relics. Another would be creating some sort of an alchemical linker that they can use instead of the linker based on the Sakurai theory. I wonder why we haven't gotten to that yet. I guess it depends how much time has gone between GX and AXZ. If it's like a couple of weeks, then sure, I can see why that hasn't been tackled yet. If it's been months, they probably should have at least something already. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, right now, I think that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna prolong it any further, not gonna be spinning in circles, not gonna be ranting about things. We're gonna end it here. So, you guys, you tell me down in the comments what did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories. No spoilers, please. You've been really good about not spoiling me anything for Symphogear, so keep it up. And no spoilers. Like this video if you want to talk spoilers though. Discord here also in the description. You can join it. There's a Symphogear channel. You can join that channel and talk spoilers to your heart's content as long as you use the spoiler tags. Like this video if you liked it. Dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to that channel to be notified of future releases. Click the bell, all that jazz. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or Throne. On Patreon, you can pay me $10 a month and get early access to Symphogear and to Madoka Magica and to whatever other non-seasonals are gonna be coming in the future. And for just $1, you get a role on the Discord, and you also get a place in the credits. And those are gonna be coming very shortly. On the Throne, you can pitch it directly towards my purchase of better lighting, better camera, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, it really costs nothing. Share my content, spread the word. It really does help grow the channel organically a lot, and organic growth is the best kind of growth. And with all of that out of the way, I don't think I forgot to mention anything. So that's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be one of those people if only you so desire.